Every time I hear that, I want to that song. I'm like, I want to do like
What
a
the
death metal version of it one day and just be like, Uber.
I don't know
Go
what the fuck
crazy.
is going on. What is happening?
It is Tuesday. It's Show Me the Money Club live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. What's going on, Sergio? How you doing?
Not much, not much. Just came over my CNBC ticker. Trump just said we will leave Iran in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, all
I know.
right,
I saw
cool.
the stock market. I'm like, what the hell went on? It popped up a little news notification that said
No,
Iran
you
wanted to
know,
talk. I'm like, okay.
the number one watched satellite feed now is over the Straits of Hormuz. They're counting all the ships that are going through. So today's shipping activity was a lot more, than before. So it's like,
Mhm. Yep.
but I don't know. I don't know why we're there. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Well, I did see one of the gas stations lower gas.
No
5
way.
freaking cents. 5
Oh,
cents.
yeah.
No,
I
this
just
and this was yesterday too, so it was like not before, everything, but yeah. So I don't know. What are you
I
seeing? Are you
paid
still seeing
six.
gas rise or lower?
It's six for regular unleaded where I'm at. So
Oh, damn. It's like hovering around 4, but I cheap and I go to the res so that I get it for cheaper.
no, it's pretty bad. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Nice. Well, let's talk about what we're gonna be talking about. Uh, Steve, thanks for the super chat. Yes, smash that like. We appreciate that. Hit that
Smack it.
like button. Or just a little tap. Just a little tiny tap. Go tap tap. No, no,
Yeah.
no double tap. Just tap. Single tap. Like. All right. So we're gonna be talking about on the rundown. We're gonna be talking about Uber acquires luxury car service Black Lane. What else aren't? You know what? I think you and I should just make up an app, and maybe we'll call it AI Auto Visions Autonomy, and maybe they'll put an offer, and there's nothing there.
Well, no. Once I do my little fleet thing, maybe they'll buy that one. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
We'll see. But then we're going to be talking about, is Uber trying to influence the New York governor's race? That's near and dear to my state. Uber drivers in Mexico are calling for nationwide protests. The senator is pressing the IRS to raise the mileage deduction,
mm-hmm.
and this is why Uber's commercial insurance rates are high. And then for the main topics, we're going to be talking about, should Empower be allowed to continue operating in New York? The so-called Uber bug is as active as ever, and boy, is it. Uber wait time clock is not working properly. What's going on there? More bugs, right? More bugs. More proof of Lyft scheduled trip pay cut. Maybe. We'll talk. And then, is Uber bundling X trips now? Uber and
Mm-hmm.
Lyft DoorDash announced gas relief for drivers. And Ironman of Boston is on a roll for 12K this month, but of course with the higher. No, wait, he drives EV, doesn't he?
No, he drives a hybrid.
Oh, okay, so that's not too bad.
No.
This is not a joke. Uber Hood has launched. Down in the hood, baby.
Hey, do you remember me, you, and Steve? Steve from Denver. He had an idea called Hoopty Ride.
Hoopty ride.
Hoopty
Yeah.
Ride is coming out.
Shows up in the ghetto.
You
Taking
bet.
down in the ghetto.
Hoopty
little
Rides.
little South Park reference for you if you don't know that. But before we get into that, let's talk about behind the wheel. Sergio,
I need it. I need people. People.
come on.
uh,
You're
uh,
all keyboard warriors out there. We see all the chat. We see the people. Come
it's
on.
That's what they do. All they do is hide me in the basement and just send me some
Matt, why
garbage.
don't you get on the chat? You got a lot to talk about on X. Come on, chat.
That's right. That's
Behind the
right.
wheel.
So behind the wheel, enjoy doing those. It's about your experiences of good, bad, sideways. You could be a newbie, you could be a veteran. Doesn't make any difference to us. We want to hear from drivers any experience, any good, bad, doesn't matter. Please email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. I'll set up the interview with you and we record and we put it on the channel. So last week's was pretty good, 80-20, how drivers in Portland battled and they're getting what they want. A lot of people here complain about, oh, this, all that. They did it. It took them 2 years.
Too
So
much.
you need to hang tough with these companies, and
They take too much.
good guys won on that case.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into the rundown. Can Sergio beat his 30-second clock or no?
No, 45 seconds.
Oh.
Bring back the driver's corner.
Well, maybe.
Well, if we have time today, maybe we'll do it.
Yeah.
How about that?
It all depends. There's quite a few topics, my friend. Quite a few topics. And then again, the rundown is supposed to be 30 seconds each. Sergio's 30 seconds, my 30 seconds, but he goes to a minute and a half.
Is so fast, bro.
I know. That's the point of a rundown, man.
Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of the rundown, let's get right into the rundown, not the rubdown.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
This isn't China. No, $5 happy ending.
We love you,
No rub tug, no rub tug. But in real news, Uber is to acquire global chauffeur service, a leader Black Lane. So very interesting. So this is founded in Germany, of course.
Yeah. They paid a lot of money for this. They didn't disclose what the transaction cost was. If you guys remember, Lyft did the same thing in Europe. They bought a high-end limo company a few months ago. So Uber's following. This company is a lot larger than the Lyft one. And they're going after the high-end clientele because supposedly they're not affected by a recession, Chris. Breaking news. People who still drive, they want to, be delivered to the airport or wherever they're going in style. And here you go. Some dude started in Germany and boom.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If Uber's not growing, they're slowly fading away. I mean, in business, if you're not growing, if you're not expanding, you're going to be replaced by somebody else. And that's all they're doing. They're just gobbling up everything they can so they can continue growing and growing. But we'll see what ends up happening beyond that. But yeah, it's very similar to what Lyft had done. And you know what? I have a feeling that a lot of companies are just going to kind of be gobbled up by them in many different things, especially since, what was it, last week we showed that chart where it was like 56 different companies or something that Uber had gobbled up. So
I mean, look, this is where the trend is. These are much higher margin trips than X or shared or shit like that, and they're going after it, expanding, and good for them. And they have the money to spend, all the free cash flow. Boom, that's it.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Talk about Blakeman accusing Hochul of pay-to-play scheme with Uber to win re-election. Basically, Uber's pumped $8 million in his super PAC for bankrolling Hochul's plan to lower New York's sky-high car insurance costs. That would be great, but
all you, buddy.
I don't know about that one.
All you.
I don't know about that one. What?
You don't know about that one? Okay. Well, I mean, this gentleman is running for the governor in New York and accusing Governor Kathy Hochul. Is it Hochul or Hochul?
Hochul. Just call her
for
Keith. That's what she looks like.
For kissing Uber's ass, and many politicians have done so. So it's no shame. Show me the money, baby.
Yeah. Oh God, she's so horrible. Get her out.
Okay. Well, hey, if Uber's going to spend $8 million to in her campaign through a super PAC,
fucking retarded.
I don't think she's going anywhere.
Uber's retarded then. I mean,
we know that.
I mean, they love to burn money. There's $150,000 on pizza, but yeah, no. Either way, I mean, it would be great to see things brought down in terms of cost, but I'm sorry, but the plan that they're talking about ain't gonna work.
Okay, well, it's in your backyard. You'll be more affected than anyone with this thing. So
I could always move. That's my hope. That's my hope and my goal. But let's move on. Let's talk about Uber drivers are protesting rates and commissions in Mexico City. So they're calling for a boycott there. Very interesting, since we got to do that as well too, right?
Well, we do it. It doesn't go anywhere in Mexico. I think it'll be more sticky probably. And on March 30th, which was yesterday, they called a nationwide boycott. So I guess the problems that are, that drivers experience in the U.S. are all over the globe. Who knew? I don't know. It's about rates and commissions, Chris. There you go. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Australia is the same thing. I hear it in London. I mean, Europe is the same thing. So I guess Uber's playbook is the same. Pay as little as you can, charge as much as you can, make some free cash flow.
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't that every business's proposition? Pay as little as you can for your costs and charge as much as you can on the other end and collect the profit in between.
As for sure, that's correct, except that in most businesses, you don't have most businesses, I said, you don't have black box algorithms deciding your fate. But in
Well,
this
that's
case,
true.
but all I'm saying is, look, man, this is normal, but hopefully the brothers and sisters in Mexico have more success than we have here.
Yep. So who knows? We'll see. Maybe they'll achieve something and make it stick and continue on. But unfortunately for the U.S., I don't think you're going to see nationwide efforts be fruitful. I think you're going to have to see more statewide. Probably, I mean, city, state, that type of thing is gonna move the needle. I mean, that's what we're seeing across the different states that have already implemented something.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So, how would you like a little bit more money back when it comes to deductions and the standard mileage deduction when it comes to miles that you drive on Uber, Lyft, other platforms? So, a senator is pressing the IRS to raise the mileage deduction that Uber drivers rely on to offset spiking gas prices. So, in 2026, it's supposed to rise to 72 cents. So, you'll have 72 cents as the standard mileage deduction for next year. But they can always change that. So we've seen it change throughout the middle of the year at times. A few months left in the year. We've seen it where it's hiked up because of the gas prices. That was 23, I think that happened in. It might happen in 22 as well. I can't remember. So this isn't unprecedented, but having the gas prices higher, it makes sense that with maintenance being higher, with everything else being higher, and just in terms of car maintenance and car repairs and everything that's going on with gas, that's just another additional cost. And
Mhm.
hopefully that we do see something like that where it's raised a little bit higher.
I mean, IRS raises it pretty much every other year or every year anyway, right?
Yep.
And so Senator Gallegos is this is like an emergency, an extra 4 cents for 2026, like in addition to the 72 or 72 and a half that it is for 2026. I like it. Look, man, drivers and full-time driver drives 5, 6, 7,000 miles a month. It's going to make a big difference, obviously. So,
Oh yeah.
and to me, it's like, I would assume 90% plus drivers take the standard mileage deduction, and it will help. And we're going to talk about in the future segment coming up about what Uber, Lyft, DoorDash are doing. I wrote an article about it, and we'll see where that goes. That's temporary. This is not temporary. So I do like it. I like this idea.
Yeah. Moral of the story, though, everybody that is watching, make sure you do keep all of your receipts for oil changes and maintenance, tires, anything when it comes to that, because sometimes the standard mileage deduction is not as good as actually deducting everything. So
Yeah.
you just have to figure out which one is better. So make sure you are keeping all your receipts for everything, and then hand it over to your tax preparer or add it up and see which one's going to give you more at the end of the year and then go with that. So that's definitely something that you really need to pay attention to and make sure, especially with gas, when you're filling up, make sure you have your receipts, keep them.
Yep, for sure.
All right, let's move on to the next one and talk about a watchdog warning. Uber users take Lyft following the Times report about Uber letting violent felons, rapists drive and background check systems built to fail. I think they need to understand that it's not just Uber that does this; it's also Lyft. So
Well,
it's
I
just a
didn't,
smaller company.
I responded. This was on LinkedIn, right? I
Uh-huh.
responded to it. I go, you bunch of fools. Not the headline of this screenshot is, this is why Uber's commercial insurance rates are going up, because it's billboard or ambulance chasing lawyers like this. They take that billboard is not cheap, folks. That's probably $25,000 to $30,000 for a month or whatever it may be. But then this is how uneducated these folks are, and saying that, oh, maybe you guys should take Lyft. And I responded saying, Uber uses the same watered down background check through a company called Checker, folks. I said, maybe you, instead of doing this, you guys should go after your city councils or state legislators to enforce a fingerprint background check and a drug test. How about that? And they didn't respond, but it goes to show this is why commercial insurance rates go up, because lawyers know Uber has deep pockets, and they go, boom, we come right after it. So,
yep. I mean, how the one injury attorney that we have here, it's if you were injured in a rideshare, first one, and then motorcycle or truck accident or whatever, like it goes down the list, but rideshare is always number one now at this point.
Yep.
Just because, that's who's got the deep pockets. They'll go after who they can.
Yep.
So yeah, big thing there when it comes to it. But unfortunately, all that type of stuff just adds to the costs to run and maintain when it comes to commercial insurance. And, unfortunately, that's when you start seeing these ridiculous things. But again, are they doing something a little on the top end there? I think so. I think that might be the case.
Yeah, we'll see. But yep. So, what was I going to say? I forgot. That's okay. Well, no, it was about like
insurance.
Anyway, I'll remember it in a minute. So go.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk to our next one. And that is, should Empower still be allowed to continue operating in New York? So basically what's happening is New York City is seeking a permanent ban on the ride-hailing app Empower. And this was a lawsuit that was filed on Friday in saying that they had violated local laws by failing to apply for a relevant license since it began operating in New York City in 2022. And they will come after you 100%. So Empower's recently gained traction in New York by offering fares on its mobile app. It says that they're 20% less than Uber or Lyft. And MAUs in the New York metropolitan area jumped to 155% to 92,000 in January since last May, according to market intelligence from Sensor Tower. So
we have invited, by the way, Joshua Sear, who's the CEO and founder of Empower, multiple times, and to come up on Show Me the Money and talk about, his side of the story, or the company's Empower's side of the story.
I think non-speaking speaks more.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I look, Empower is doing something that is only probably applicable to New York City, because each driver in New York City has to have their own commercial insurance anyway. In other cities, look, Empower has tried this in Washington, D.C. and a couple other cities where the driver and the rider has no protection. Okay, they didn't offer the P1, P2, P3 commercial insurance that other TNCs like Uber and Lyft do. Okay, in those areas, I don't think Empower should operate, because the risk is immense for the driver and the rider. But in New York City, it fits the bill, and Empower is saying we're an SaaS, like software as a service.
Yeah,
and you're renting our software.
The state isn't going to look at it that way.
I get 100% not. But Chris, it goes to show, that last paragraph that Natalie Long wrote about, MAUs is monthly active users in the New York metropolitan area jumped 155% to 92,000 in 1 month, right? So the point is, riders are sick
it's in January since May, so it's 6 months.
But riders are sick of paying those fares, because Uber has admitted that the fares have gone up 40-50%. Drivers are sick of not getting paid enough, right? The pie in the middle, or the slice in the middle, has gotten larger from single digits to up to 31% now. This is on Uber's earnings report. You guys can go check this out. Well, Empower was taking care of that. You pay a fee to rent Empower software to drive. You already have commercial insurance in New York City. If you're going to drive in New York City, you need to have your own insurance. Well, that fit the bill. Now, not having TNC license is something completely different, right? But people were using Empower because it's 20% probably cheaper for the rider and the driver, and the driver keeps everything that the rider pays. I think that's the model. The subscription model is going to be the model at some point, but you also have to have cross the T's and dot all the I's. You can't just go, hey, I have a software here, come rent it, because the liability is like a little bit too much.
Because the state will come after. They're looking at that and
Yeah,
saying, "You're not operating, you're not paying the money. We want our
yeah,
money, and we're
yeah,
going to get it any way we can."
yeah,
I mean, look at what's going on with some of these states and what's going on with gambling and that
yeah,
that's been like kind of the hot topic recently.
yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. If the state wants something, they're going to do everything that they can to get it,
Well,
and they already have everything set up in terms of you didn't get the proper filings that you needed, you didn't get the proper license that you needed,
yeah,
and you know what's going to happen? We're going to shut your ass down. They did
yeah,
that to Uber and Lyft in New York already. They
yes,
did that way back when Uber and Lyft first started. They said, "Hey, you don't have your stuff here. You can't operate." And then it took a little while. They went in New York City. They were at least operational because they followed what needed to be done in there in order to operate. And then they finally came to this back to the rest of the state. A little while after that. So it's going to take the time,
yeah,
and we'll see what ends up happening, but the state will probably end up shutting them down. And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that, both drivers and riders, because yeah, you hit the nail on the head. They're sick and tired of paying higher prices, and Power comes in and can undercut that because they don't have the same fees that are associated with something like Uber and Lyft, especially when it comes to the commercial insurance side of things. So
yeah,
they can already undercut the pay when it comes to what a passenger will have to pay in order for the ride, and then provide that more to the driver because they're getting 100% of the fare minus the expense that they have to pay when it comes to their monthly fee.
yeah. Well, one thing, as you know, I was involved with a company called Y-Ride in California,
Hmm.
and TNC license, CPUC license, all the licenses, airport licenses were all taken care of. Even if you get the licenses, and then it was a subscription-based system, cheaper for the rider, more money for the driver. But then competing with these two giants is so difficult, right? As it is, it's difficult, and we're doing it without a license, a TNC license. I don't think is going to work, and I wish. I don't know how expensive it is to acquire a TNC license in New York City, but I think New York City is the perfect place for Empower to show these companies and the riders and the drivers that there is a way that this could be done and save the rider some money and the driver makes more money. But yeah, I think they need to play under the same rules as the other two. That's the point. So, Mr. Sear, if you're watching this, please respond to my multiple emails because I pinged you a couple times. We would like to have you on the show and talk about this because I think competing with Uber and Lyft is very difficult as it is, and but in a city like New York, I think it's proven that it works. But then you
Hmm.
can't do it. You can't, it's like you can't do it like what they call those pirate cabs. You just can't operate like that. You need
The
equal
what?
playing field. Let's say
The what cab?
pirate cab. They're pirates in Turkey. They
Oh,
have
you're talking about the gypsy cabs?
gypsy cab. We call pirate cabs in Turkey. Like people in their cars doing like taxi business.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all I'm saying
There's a
is,
big problem
get your.
in New York
I,
back what decade ago?
I haven't looked into it, how expensive it is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty expensive, and I don't know how well funded Empower is, but there's something stopping them from getting that license. So
I don't know, but they're gonna have to figure it out pretty soon because
yeah,
that's the state it will come down on them pretty
yeah,
good and say, uh-uh, and they'll be like, you either shut down or you pay your fee, and that's that. And they could come back and say, I don't know if they're gonna go back and say, hey, you're gonna need to pay extra or something like that when it comes to like retro, but I wouldn't put it past New York to try to do shit like that because New York City we already know is in a massive they're hemorrhaging money. So who knows what will end up happening trying to get whatever type of money they can.
about somebody said about Hum Rideshare. I heard a lot about Hum Rideshare, right? I don't know much about it. I think they're in Arizona and a couple other states. I'll try to get in touch with them and get somebody on to explain their side of the story. But again, it's very difficult to compete with Uber and Lyft,
The
folks.
thing that
I
the
will.
thing that's cool about Hum is the fact that you can do the ride. You can do like ride hails that are actual
Yeah,
hails. So
yeah,
it's like, hey, and then do it right through the app.
yeah. We'll have to. I'll get somebody on. I'll get a hold of somebody at home, and if they want to come on, they can come on and talk about it. It's difficult. That's all I'm saying. I know I was involved very closely with competing Uber and Lyft, and unless you have a couple of billion sitting at the bank, it's really difficult.
Yep. All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about the so-called Uber bug is as active as ever. Of course it is. I mean, come on, Sashin. Come
on. Man, I'm telling you, I'm really surprised, Chris, that, I know a lot of people at the company. I'm really surprised that I'm hitting a wall on this. I don't know why.
I'm
there's
telling
so much resistance.
you know what? I'm not even going to let you do this anymore. I'm just going to take these screenshots post show, and I'm going to just start tagging, 3-letter agencies and attorney generals and different things like that, and see what that leads to, because that was the only time we actually heard anything, when Matt had posted something and then tagged those people in, and on a Saturday nonetheless. That is when Sasha reposted it, or had posted something. So I'm telling you, that's the only way to do it. You want to play hardball? We're going to play.
Okay, no, I get that, but usually I get things done, and this is, I think, if you go back to 5-6 shows now, we've been doing this, right? We discovered the bug. Usually the bug was like from trip radar to not available to exclusive. Now it's happening exclusive to exclusive. There's no in between here, right? So basically, it's happening on all types of variations of this. Trip radar to trip radar, which these two are. Then trip radar to try to match, not available to exclusive. Exclusive to exclusive, we showed one last week. So what maybe you should do is you should go back like 5-6 shows, collect all those and post it on Twitter, and then I'll tag me with it. Because look, I usually get things done, and this is very surprising to me that it's like falling on deaf ears. And to me, it's like, folks, this needs to get fixed. I mean, you're on record, Sachin. You're on record saying this is not supposed to happen. It's unfair. You're on record. You're one of the top executives at Uber. I mean, you're not a joke, and you're the head of product. If you can't fix this, who's going to fix it? Because this is unacceptable. You said it. I'm not saying it. I'm saying it as a driver's advocate, but you, as an executive of Uber, said it yourself publicly. So please fix it, because this is, I'm not saying it's a doable trip to start with. That's not the issue here. The issue is not that.
I mean, so the fact that this ride came in at $62.98. And thankfully, these people didn't fall for the trap, because if you look at the mileage that you're driving, it's 88.9 miles for the trip and 3.4 to pick up. And you're only getting paid $62.98 for that ride. That's a hard pass right there. And then here's the best part. So this one came in at $336, and then in $352, the same ride comes in, and it is dropped. So it's from $62.98 to $47.06. And guess what? You now have to go 4.1 miles to the pickup and still drive that 88.9 miles. So now we're getting closer to that 50 cents a mile threshold crap.
Obviously, this got shuffled around, didn't it now, right?
Or they canceled the ride and reordered it.
Potentially, but then I don't know why it would be $15 cheaper.
It should be more.
Should be more, because the pickup is longer, right?
Yeah.
And none of this makes sense, okay, folks? None of this makes sense. So again, if you still have these, I know it's going on. So you have these kind of screenshots, please shoot them down to me. Send them to me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. This is something I'm having, probably this is the most, all these other bugs that we talk about, and, in the background, I get it done. And, there are nice people at Uber who listen and they go, oh, shit. Okay, fine. Listen, just do it, fix it, because I ain't going anywhere, right? I mean, we can play this Mexican standoff thing all you guys want. I mean, I ain't going anywhere.
This is why I like time and distance. I put in my rates for what the time and distance is for this ride, and it would have paid $77. And let's just say everything's right. So it actually took you an hour and 25 minutes to get the ride, and you're driving 88.9 miles. This ride would have actually paid you $77.57.
Yeah, but the rate card?
That's on the rate card. And so now you can see how much they're dropping the pay. So when they say, "Oh, they're making more, drivers are making more," no, that's bullshit because you can see right there.
Yeah, I think
Every screenshot that we show on this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start showing older rate cards, old rate cards.
yeah, we did that when upfront pairs came around. Remember, we did that for a while.
Yeah,
When
but they
upfront,
weren't that bad. Now all of a sudden, it's like you said, boiling the frog in
yeah,
water slowly. You drop it over time. It might take you 6 months to get down a little bit, but you're going to continually cut as much as you can here, there, next time after that.
yeah. It's. I will keep trying. I mean, look, I'm gonna keep. I ain't going anywhere. So I'm like a little bulldog. I'll just fucking get all the meat on the bone. And here's another one. And this one, see, this is all these different variations I'm getting from drivers now. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Same shit again, right? This time it starts with an exclusive, then goes down 35%, goes to a trip radar, and then, well, let's take the positive. It didn't go from trip radar to exclusive again, but it didn't go lower, Chris. Maybe they did fix part of it.
I don't know. But they didn't. So for those who are just listening right now, the first screenshot on this one that came in, it's 1373, which includes a 225 surge attached with a $2 boost plus bonus
And the 5%.
and a 5% pro perk included.
Yeah.
So you're only getting paid 1373 to drive 24 minutes or 16 and a half miles to the pickup for a 5-minute, 1.8 mile ride. That's the first one that came in. Then it comes back a minute later as a trip radar from 1373 to 1004. And then, it probably timed out right there and came back as the exclusive because the next person that took it didn't want to take it. And, just by looking at the map, I don't think there's anything in that area. So that's probably why they're getting pinged again and again, back to forth. But it still stayed at 1004. So it still dropped what you said, 35% right there.
Yeah.
Which is getting ridiculous. So, yeah, massive problems when it comes to this thing. And like I say, I think I'm going to start doing that when it comes to tagging on X and see how fast we can go there. Because if we haven't gotten any response after showing multiple times that this is happening, and we know you watch, we know you take the screenshots, I think we're going to have to play hardball here.
I'm telling you, I am very surprised that this is not fixed yet. And I'll keep working on it in the background, but we'll get it done at some point. We'll get it fixed. But now it's all variations of this. Before it was just one way. Now it's every possible way. The what do you call? I don't even know what to call this. I don't know. We used to call it shaving, but it's not shaving. I don't know.
Intentional. I would actually call it what it is, and that is some sort of. No, I can't say that.
Well,
I would say bait and switch.
Sachin said it's not intentional. He said that
I would say at this point it's bait and switch.
Bait and switch. Okay, fine. Yeah.
That's
we'll see. We'll see.
We'll
get it
I can say.
So, but send me the screenshot, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. If we see it applicable, we'll post it.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on to the new bug. Well, this isn't a new bug, but this is a bug that's continually popping up here and there, and that is that the wait time is not starting. Now, before you would maybe where the pin was, and you weren't close to the pin, but that first screenshot, you were literally on the freaking pin, like you are there, and it's still telling you, "Oh, hey, sorry."
Well, as you know, the first 2 minutes is on the driver, right? So Uber changed this actually. They're not showing in some cities. They're not showing the wait clock, but what they're showing is they're saying, "Trust us. We're going to count to 2 minutes, but after 2 minutes, we're going to show you what your pay is by the minute as you're waiting." No, Uber, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. So put the wait clock back on. In fact, I did send both of these to Uber a couple of days ago, and I got a response saying, yes, thank you. We're looking into it as usual. This may change. So the point is, if there is no wait clock, how do I know that you're keeping the 2-minute freebie that it's on the driver, the first 2 minutes, is kept properly? How do I know that? Again, there's a trust issue, Uber. We don't trust you. Okay. Don't do this kind of thing that hurts the lack of or there's a lack of trust. So and it's not going to get built by doing stuff like this, right? So that brilliant black room people in the room figure out, oh, let's do it this way. And I'm like, just it wasn't broken before. If
How
it
can I
ain't
get more
broke,
money?
don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We, as drivers, they do enough. They don't need to keep. Now a lot of drivers are going to keep track of that. Now I bet you anything else. My 2 minutes up. Am I starting getting to pay now for the wait time?
You're gonna
It's
start seeing
already.
stopwatches in cars.
Imagine that, right? It was like a clicker.
Honestly, I would say do it, because who knows if their timers are even right to begin with.
I don't know. Well. So this dude says, Sergio, they're giving you lip service. Bro, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
All right. Well, just letting you know there. So if you're not seeing the wait time, you might need to start calculating it yourself, especially if you don't trust Uber. And yeah, hopefully that'll be solved. But another problem, of course. And let's move on. Let's talk about Lyft scheduled trips and a little bit of pay cut when it comes there. Or is it?
Not little. So Lyft is learning from Uber really well now, Chris, which is very surprising to me. But this is pretty clear cut. Driver accepts the scheduled trip, and it comes with a 40% turbo, right? And it's $13.02, right? Okay, cool. And then there's the turbo, 40% turbo area that he's in. Okay, it's pretty clear. It's in order. And then the trip ends, Chris. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right? In fact, there's a 50% turbo, not 40%. It's the same trip, right? Rider paid $25.91. Look what happened to the base fare.
It got chopped
From
$13.02 to $9.69.
Yeah, this is something very disturbing that Lyft is doing. And Lyft may say turbo applies to base earnings only, which is fine. We understand that. But why did the base earnings change? It's 1302. 1302.
Well, now my question is, you said it came in with a 40% turbo, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So to everybody who says that it came in with the turbo, and yeah, they pay the difference, which that is true. So if you had like a 20% turbo that was attached to the ride and it went to 50%, technically with the total would be with the turbo already applied for that 20%. And then if you got a 50% turbo, it would unlock, and then it would give you the new rate when it comes to the 30% difference. So that is true. But what's happening is this person had the 1302 reserve lift with the 40% turbo, and then if you add it up, it's actually, I mean, you'd think, oh well, 40% turbo, I get 40% bonus turbo, it's 1302. No, if you add it up, it's like $15. So they got the 969, the 485, and the 49 cents for the schedule ride premium, ends up being like 1503 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, so the other thing is the
it does adjust, but it's not adjusting properly.
Well, not only that, but the 1302, by the way, does not include the turbo, Chris. Then while you're driving on the way, you pick up the turbo, then it's applied. All I'm saying is the 1302 got reduced to 969, 989?
969, yep.
We don't, I mean, why is all this necessary? Look, the rider in this case paid
25.91.
Okay, that's plenty of money. You don't need to steal a couple, $3 from the driver.
Well, when their stock price is at $14, they need to.
I mean, I don't understand. I really don't understand. So Lyft got this too. In fact, Lyft got a whole bunch of these because we did the segment about 3 weeks ago. They go, do you have screenshots? I go, oh boy, do I have screenshots for you. This is so watch out if you guys are doing, if you're elite and you got a lot of scheduled trips that you're doing, that's your bread and butter, which I understand for elite drivers. It's a really good perk to be elite on Lyft. Watch out for this. What you reserve your scheduled trip at And after you finish the trip, go look at your base earnings. If your base earnings dropped, because that is what's happening. So if it's 1302, should be 1302 plus the 50%, not any way around. We don't need to, we don't need to play these games, folks. So if you do have any of these, please send them to me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. I'll just bombard Lyft with this, and then they're more receptive to these things because at least they go like, "Do you have screenshots?" I go like, "Do I have screenshots?"
Oh, we don't talk about it unless we have screenshots. So
I'm
here
the
you go.
screenshot king, bro. Do I have screenshots? Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, this is something
please.
where you guys got to watch out for of what's going on, and for of course, because they're not paying the way that they should be and breaking things down, which is adjusting backwards. So it's becoming a little bit of a problem there. And I'm sorry, I misspoke. I said $14. It's actually $13.30 currently. So even worse. That's why they need to get the dollars instead of the cents when it comes to the change, so they can try to recoup back up to $20 for that stock price. But yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about, is Uber bundling X trips now?
This is new. This is from LA, folks, and this is in my backyard. This driver, in fact, I made sure that he didn't miss anything on this. So what happened is that they showed him a trip. They showed him a trip for $41 going from LAX. He was at LAX, going from LAX to Santa Monica. That's a great fare because you can go a million different ways to Santa Monica. But then when he got in the car, when he accepted the trip, because he jumped on it, shit, fuck yeah, okay, sure. Hidden surge, whatever it is. And look what it turned into. It turned into 2 trips, Chris. And now we know it's not shared trips, right? We know it's not a shared ride. So they stuck him with an Uber X trip and an Uber Comfort trip. The odd thing is, the first trip they hid the first trip going to Manhattan Beach. If you know LAX and Los Angeles area, from LAX to Manhattan Beach is about 8 miles, which it shows on the trip. They did not ping him directly. So all they did is they pinged him with the second trip to Santa Monica, Arizona Avenue, Santa Monica. But then when he got in the car, he accepted the $41 because these two total about $41. It was like he's happy to accept the trip to Santa Monica, which is 10 miles away from LAX, for $41. And to his surprise, this showed up. So if you guys are seeing this any other city, please send me screenshots. This could be something new. I don't know if they're bundling. This is not reservation. This is none of that. We know on reservations they do bundle now. This is just it was a regular ping, and I made sure I understood it correctly because I'd never seen it before. And so all it did is Uber sent him to Manhattan Beach first, and then from Manhattan Beach to Hermosa Beach is not too far. And from there, the trip all went back to the Santa Monica final destination. And we know it's not shared. So if they're doing this is...
I would have loved to see the ping screen, to be honest.
He didn't have that. He didn't have that. But this is as good as it gets, though, because when you click on the 3 dots.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying for anybody else, if you're taking screenshots of the ping screen, that would be ideal too. So add the ping screen to this, and then your trip guide and the breakdown if you want.
Yeah, I would love to see some more of these if this is something new. I'm not sure if this is new. Well, it's new to me. Definitely new to LA. If they're doing this in your city, please take a screenshot of, we tell you to take a screenshot of everything. So if this had the ping screen, it would make it clear. But I think it was enough evidence for me to post it on Show Me the Money because that's the drop-down menu of the trip. And he was asking me actually to drive. He goes, "Do you know anything about this? Is this something new?" I go, "What is this?" He goes, "No, they pinged me to Santa Monica, but then I had to go to Manhattan Beach first and then pick up the other dude." Now, the only thing I can think of Chris, is that the second trip, it shows up as a regular trip, right? As a comfort trip from Hermosa Beach to Santa Monica. That may be a reservation. Okay. And so the algo figured, okay, well, why don't I send this driver to Manhattan Beach? From Manhattan Beach, it'll be in time to go pick up this reservation. But then it doesn't show that to the driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is a possibility of that. I asked the driver that, like, is there a possibility? He goes, yeah, there could be, but it pinged me as a regular ping to Santa Monica. It didn't even ping me. It didn't even show me, he said, the Manhattan Beach trip. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken it. But he looked at the 41 and jumped on it. But the total is 41, but he had to do a little bit more driving for that, because he thought he was going to get 41 directly to Santa Monica, which would be, 17, 18 miles and 38 minutes. So please send me these screenshots. I would like to see this.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see though what it is when it comes to the ping screen, because I mean you could be right there. It could have been something where they're like, oh yeah, this is a reserved ride and it didn't maybe make it at that time, and here we go, we're gonna just bundle it together. But overall, what do you think on bundles to begin with? If you saw that.
Yeah, I don't like bundles that much, but then there are some good ones in there. But this was definitely something that caught my eye. I mean, there's a comment in the chat says that it could have been a wait and save trip. The second one makes sense. A reservation makes sense, but the driver should be shown that, as opposed to just pinging him to Santa Monica, which is the final destination of these two trips, as opposed to anything else. So
Yeah, but I mean, that's the whole thing. Without the ping screen, it could have said Uber Comfort and then, right around their bundled trip, or, something, or queued ride or whatever it might have been. And, without that, you can't really tell what was going on. You don't know how it looked beyond that. So, if this is something that you do see, anybody, make sure you are screenshotting the offer card first and see what is being done there, because then that way we can actually really break down everything. It's interesting to see, but I would be more interested to see how it came in over anything.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're running into this, please send me the screenshots, and we'll discover this is not a bug. This is just the way they're offering it. We'll see.
I mean, I don't think, I honestly, bundled rides wouldn't be a problem if you saw the drop off of the rides, so you knew all the different rides. Because yeah, as you say, you might not want to go to a specific area during the time or whatnot, or you may not want to drive a certain way, and you're kind of being misled a little bit. So I mean, it just depends. I'd like to see the whole trip, and then I can just pass on it if I need to or not. I mean, some of them are going to have some cherries in there. Just like some of the rides that you get, you're not going to get everyone's a winner, but some of them are not too bad.
Yeah. Well, that's, all I know is Uber does pilot things without telling drivers. They test it out.
Of course they do.
You guys are the guinea pigs, and they test it out. And if they like it, if their margins are going higher, they also announce it. So this could be, we may have caught this just like we have caught the other bug, the big bug. We may have caught this early. So send me screenshots.
No, here you go. Mike says the right thing. He says, when Uber makes subtle changes to the offer screen, your eyes might not easily see things you weren't expecting. And I mean, you might train your eyes to look, what type of ride is this? But you might ignore other information. You might ignore, the passenger rating. You might ignore certain aspects of the offer screen. So yeah, that is something that you need to pay attention to and try to. I mean, if you ever took a psychology class, they play that video where they're bouncing the ball and they're saying, count how many times you bounce the ball. And then at the end of it, they're like, hey, did you see the gorilla that walked through? And then they replay the video, and there's a freaking gorilla that's going through, and like 90% of people are like, oh, I didn't see that. So, it's the same thing right there. It could have said bundled in there, or it could have said queued ride, or it could have said something that would have given it away. But maybe that person just didn't see it. That's why I say, if you have something like this that you see, show the offer screen. Let us see the offer screen. Or if you see the offer screen where it shows some sort of bundled, but you don't want to take the ride, by all means, that's fine. Just screenshot that particular screenshot and then send it to Sergio so we could take a look at that as well too.
Yeah, I mean, like this gentleman says, I get these very often, and the second trip can have a wait time. And not in this case. This case was like drop off, pick up, and go back to final destination. And I don't think Uber, I don't know if there is a specific screen for bundled trips. I know there is a specific screen for reserve trips when they're bundled, but not for regular ping out of the queue at LAX. So this came as a ping, regular ping, exclusive ping. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. And then they sent him south, and then they sent him north. So just anyway, send me the screenshots.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some gas relief. So drivers are getting gas relief from Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and
what do you think about it? You did a video about it.
I think it's great for those drivers who can take advantage of it, but it's real restrictive. Like the previous one that we had in 22, that was 45 or 55 cents per ride, or per order. So I think that was a little bit easier, because if you took, 1,000 rides, then you got paid on that. If you took 5 rides, you got paid on that. But there was nothing in between. It was just, that was what was happening, and there you go. When it comes to this, they're not putting really, I don't think they're putting any money out of pocket, really, because you have to either use Upside, or you have to use Shell gas station, or Mobile X1, or Mobile One Exxon, or the different restrictions. So it's very restrictive on what you can do. Now, if you can qualify for everything, that's great. Hey, congrats. Good for you guys. I mean, that's you're going to save some money there. You're going to get some good gas savings. But when it comes to the drivers who aren't, I said that myself. I said, I am not going to qualify for Diamond. I'm not going to be able to get $1.44 per gallon. I am blue, and I don't want to qualify for anything else, because I don't want to deal with the new Uber Pro problems that everybody has to deal with when it comes to, this, that, and the other thing, just to be able to get the points and the everything. It's just moving the goalposts more. So for you drivers who are getting it, great. That's awesome. But for anybody else, you gotta do what you gotta do in order to make sure that your mileage goes longer. So doing the tips that I told you at the end of the video, those are a lot of different things that you can do to make sure that your car is going to be running smoothly, operating efficiently, and giving you better gas mileage.
Yeah, I wrote an article. It's on our blog. Please go check it out. It came out a couple of days ago, www.rideshareguy.com. It's a free newsletter, folks, free. We're giving it to you for free. Please go read it. I have my thoughts about it, but bottom line is that, first of all, you have to have the Uber Pro debit card or Lyft Direct.
Oh yeah, that's another restriction.
And most drivers, since they don't trust Uber and Lyft, they don't have that debit card. So let's start there. First, you have to have that.
Yeah.
Then you can take they increase the percentages they increase 10 to 15% of the cash back you get if you have the Lyft Direct or Uber Pro debit card. That's one. But then they combined it with Upside, and like Chris said, with Shell and Mobil and Exxon. If you combine it all, if you have to start with, you have to have the Uber Pro debit card or Lyft Direct debit card. If you don't have that, you don't have shit. Okay. I don't know. I don't have the information how many drivers do have it. What percentage of drivers do have Uber Pro debit card or Lyft Direct? I don't know. But I cannot imagine that it's more than 50%, probably, Chris. So 50%.
I wouldn't say it's more than 15%.
15%? Okay, well, I was being generous. 50%. And so that eliminates literally.
All right. How about this? If you have an Uber Pro or Lyft card, put 1 in the chat right now. If you don't, or would never get it, or don't want it, or whatever, put a 0.
Yeah.
Just that way we can figure out. Maybe, and then maybe we'll actually do a poll on the channel too, so we can get beyond people who are just watching.
We probably should. Oh,
we already got a 1.
There you go, 0. Not 0, bro. It's 2. Okay, 0 means
no. I said 0 and 1. So if you don't have it,
okay.
So actually, quite a few people do have it.
No, a lot more zeros. Well, what is 0? 0, they don't have it.
0 is you don't have it, you don't want it, and 1 is
it's going to be. I think you're going to be pretty close, probably 30%. So anyway, 70% is eliminated, and then DoorDash's program is a little bit more interesting. And if you drive 120 active miles, they give you $15 in cash on top of the discounts that you get with the DoorDash debit card. So look, I don't think it goes anywhere. And the last but not least, this is a 2-month program. It's going to end on May 26th.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess the companies
Uber Eats is May 3rd or whatever, or May 6th or something. So it's even earlier. Well, that's what it's too. But we saw they could extend it. So if gas prices do remain high,
Yeah.
they could extend it further. It's one of those things where they're going to, keep it as long as gas prices are high. And in the event that they start lowering, you're going to start seeing the rollbacks happen, and then it just fade out again.
Yeah, I mean, when the 55 cents came out, if you remember, everybody complained, oh, what's 55 cent going to do? But everybody took it because it was hard cash on the spot. You know what I mean? This one, there's a lot of hoops to jump through to get the discount. And, there are some people, and I would like actually some of you people who put one, which look, I'm not against having Uber Pro debit card or Lyft Direct debit card. I'm not against it at all. I think it has good benefits. I think they both have decent benefits. 10% cash back is pretty good if you're buying gas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've been using Upside pretty much every time I buy gas now. So, but I don't have the Lyft Direct or Uber Pro debit card. But I would like couple of the people who do have the debit card, if they were able to stack it and combine it with Upside and other ones, and like, what's the most discount you received, right? If you have those debit cards, what's the most discount you received? And is it making a difference in your life? Which I hope it will, because gas prices are freaking ridiculous, especially if you're in California. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, no matter what, let us know. And then the other thing too, like if you are seeing some differences for the people that are putting one, are you seeing some differences when it comes to what you're getting on how much you're able to save on gas? Put it in the comments. Let us know. Because hey, take advantage if you can. Absolutely.
There you go.
And then the other thing, I mean, Upside. If you don't have the Upside app, download it. I mean, come on, it's free.
It's free,
and you get cash back on gas. You get cash back on convenience, restaurants. So if you go out and eat, you get cash back there. Some of it can be pretty substantial. So there's a link in the description that you can actually download the Upside app. And if you don't have it, and you download it, there's an extra bonus that RSG people can get. So make sure you use that.
Okay, $56 a week, he says. Okay, that's depreciable, right?
Yep.
So
it's everything is in the cash article. Back from Upside and $350 from the bank. Nice.
Yeah. Well, look, good. I think it's the right move. It's the right thing to do, because this, the high gas prices, probably they have economists and whatever, they're expecting high prices not to last as much as it did last time when the Russian-Ukraine thing was going on, and it was like a long periods of time. So, look, I actually had emailed both Uber and Lyft 3 weeks ago when the first gas prices shot up $1. I said, "What are you guys doing? You guys thinking?" I think we'll get back to you. Actually, at least a day before they announced it to the media, I had all the stuff so I could write the article, and so. They do listen. They do listen. Yep. They do decent things,
And then, another way, if you want to get more rewards, you can scan your gas receipts on the Fetch app.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's many tools you guys can use. I've been using Upside every time I bought gas since we spiked up, even before. And so anyway, good. I'm glad you guys are taking advantage of it.
There's a lot of different things you can. So, I mean, that's the best way. So, I mean, it's great for the drivers who can take advantage of it, and those who are driving, better and longer in that. I get it. This is kind of one of those things where you can look back and say, hey, my hard work's paying off. I'm getting actually able to get a little bit of claim here when it comes to it. And other drivers who, maybe the weekend time driver or the, once a month driver, they're not going to be getting the same kind of benefits. So, I mean, hey, it kind of works out that way. So for all the drivers who are like, I've been driving for 8 years and I haven't gotten a raise, I'm still getting paid everybody else the same way. And, this is kind of one of those times where you can say, hey, I get it. I'm happy. And that's awesome.
One thing about Upside that a lot of people think it's only for gas. It's not. It's for supermarkets, groceries, restaurants.
Yep.
You get breaks there too. And sometimes they have like incredible specials through the I have no affiliation with Upside. But
one of the restaurants that I go to had a 40% cash back.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, holy crap. And I mean, you're spending $75 there every time you go. So you're getting a good $30 or more.
Yeah. No, I think Upside does, and they have really improved the app too. Remember in the old days, you had to like get the receipt and scan it and do this. Now the GPS is following you already. It already knows you're at the location, so it automatically gets you the cash back in a lot shorter time. It used to take more time. So it's a cool app, and you guys take advantage. Look, man, we need all the breaks we can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was literally $6. I paid $4.50 at the same gas station. It's the cheapest gas station in my neighborhood. $4.50, literally not less than 4 weeks ago. I just paid $6.
Damn.
So if you have a 15-gallon tank, Chris, 15 times 15 is 22.5. If you buy once a week gas, I do. That's $25 a tank times 4. That's $100. That's $1,200 a year. I mean, that's a lot. I'm not getting productivity out of more expensive gas. And if you're a full-time driver, I'll bet you're buying gas every other day, right? Full tank. So
for sure. And that leads us to our next topic, the Ironman.
Fuck yeah.
Looking to do 12K this month.
Bro.
And on top of that,
he does it, bro. I don't know.
On top of that, here's the kicker. Gas is up. Yeah. He's driving a hybrid, you said. So still making bank. So I could only he's probably filling up every single day. He's got to fill up, but
no, he drives smart, but he drives a Lincoln MKZ, so it's a nice car, but he gets about 38 miles a gallon, he says. And bro, I'm telling you, bro, this guy is a fucking machine, bro. I don't know how, folks. We don't put it up just to spite you people, okay? But it is possible still. And you're going to say, oh, well, look at him. He drove 65 hours. I'm like, bro, $3,000? $3,000? $12,000?
Well, I think it comes down to one thing, and that is, how bad do you want it? He wants it. That's why he's out there grinding his ass off every single day. And then when he goes and plays, he's playing. But I mean, crazy. I look at this and say, I couldn't do that. And I'm perfectly happy knowing I couldn't do that.
I can do that a week, maybe a week.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, this guy's been doing it for 3-4 years, Chris. I mean, we've done stories about him. We have his 1099s. We've done multiple stories. He was on Behind the Wheel. You would think he would burn out. You know why he's not burning out? Let me tell you why he's not burning out. Okay. First of all, he likes what he's doing. He likes the money. He invests the money. He has rentals in Brazil. He's from Brazil. Rentals in Brazil. Rentals in Mexico. He's like passive investing and then renting him out. I mean, look, smart guy, bro. He goes, Serge, I used to work on my feet in a 120-degree kitchen. He was a chef, okay, for years in high-end hotels. He goes, we used to be in a hot kitchen standing on my feet for 18 hours a day. I'm sitting in an air-conditioned car. He goes, and I would make half as much of the money I'm making, right? Now, he goes, this is like nothing to me. It's like nothing. And
well, I mean, and that kind of gives away the whole when it comes to hours. Because if you're a chef, you're there for 12 hours a day. Minimum. And you could be there, 5-6 days, at least a week. Maybe you have one day off, maybe you don't. And if you're the exec chef, you are there all the time. So, I mean, you could be there. I mean, if he's making half of what he's making, then he probably wasn't. He might have been like second or something. But
no, but he's not executive.
That explains all the hours. That explains why he could do it.
There are line cooks, there are executive chefs, there are sous chefs, all kinds of things. He goes like, he was like, I was grinding my ass off. He goes, this is nothing to me. And to me, not too many people can do this. We're not showing you to piss you guys off, okay? But what I'm saying is that it's still possible, even in 2026, to be able to do it. And the numbers are holding together. I mean, the demand is still there. He's still driving smart. Between the two apps, both apps, he's using it. 12K a month is, come on, man. that's I mean, come on, man. You gotta take the hat off to this guy. And Matt from Boston, who's here in the chat, they know each other, and the guy's for real. And see all these questions. What is this hourly? Is it net or is it gross? Or
are you for everybody who wants to actually hear from him? Go back and check the Behind the Wheel that he was on recently. I'll find out what that one is. so you know
He
the
doesn't
title. But
complain. He doesn't bitch. He just fucking drives. Okay. And none of this is relevant, sir. See, these are the questions. None of this is relevant. You know why it's not relevant? Because those are not things that you're going to change he drives in Boston. He doesn't take, nature hikes. He picks his trips. He knows when and where to drive. He does double shifts. All other drivers have the same thing. Okay. And they make half the money that he makes. So those are all, I'm just saying the longevity of this guy, the go get it. I don't know who can do this. I don't think anybody in the US can do this like he does. I don't think they are.
I don't know. I mean, some of those stats that we heard at the end of the year with Lyft and that, could put a couple of drivers at that level.
Matt knows. See, there you go. His UR is about 95%, drives 150, 180 miles a day. There you go. I mean, look, man, my hat's off to this guy. He just works hard, and granted, there's 148 hours a week, okay? How many miles on his car? I don't know. Probably 150,000 miles. And you think with 12,000 months, he has saved money for another car already? I think this is his third car or fourth car. He's been doing Uber and Lyft I think he's just crossed like 65,000 trips. This
Wow,
is his
nice.
this is his third or fourth car. He's a smart guy, bro. He's smart. Anyway, but it's possible in 2026 to have a 12K month. Okay, there you go.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, you want to take the challenge and do it for a week? Let's see. But beyond that, I couldn't do it. I'll admit, I couldn't do that. I got family obligations, different things. So
he has wife, he has 2 kids. He has it too. He's not like a single dude just grinding,
No, I know that, but aren't his kids older?
Yeah, one of his kids is, I think his boy is about 10 or 11. So it's not babies, Ironman challenge. I like it, Matt. Let's fucking go.
There you go.
Anybody up to it? Anybody want to beat the Ironman? I mean, okay, by the way, the car is not black or anything else or Excel. He drives Lyft Standard, Comfort, Uber X, and Uber Comfort. That's it. Nothing, no extra stuff. So let's go. Let's see if you guys can beat 3K.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Uber Hood. It's here in Atlanta. No, in San Antonio. Sorry.
Hoopty, man. Hoopty. This is real, folks. This is not bullshit. This is real. So what could go wrong here, Chris?
It's cash rides.
We know that.
Friends and family rides. So this is essentially, it's just basically what's going on when it comes to a unofficial community-based rideshare system that's organized on platforms like Facebook. So users are requesting rides directly from one another in there, and they're negotiating the price and that all with that. So I mean, you're not going to have the insurance or anything. So if anything happens, if you're a driver, who's coming after you because they got hurt. They're coming after you. They're your friends until something happens, and then they're looking out for themselves. And the other way around, if your insurance catches wind that you were actually using your vehicle for monetary purposes like a rideshare, they don't care what kind of rideshare it is, whether it's Uber and Lyft or you doing it like that. They're going to say, sorry, you don't have the proper insurance. You're not being covered for that. So there's a little bit of problems there. I mean, it's good that people who need rides can get rides. But again, there's a big gaping hole when it comes to the safety behind it and, some of the issues that it could lie, in any event.
Yeah, I mean, this looks to me nothing but trouble.
And then who knows if the car even works when they get there? Well, it rolls up. It's like that Bonneville, and is like squeaking and squealing and everything. The brakes barely work. The headlights not working. Hey, I'm here to pick you up.
First of all, I don't know how Uber hasn't stopped this calling Hood Uber. It's like that's one. I'm not. I mean, look, it's brilliant actually. Community supporting community members, and look,
I
man,
mean,
not
the,
everybody
the
can afford Ubers and Lyfts. Okay, there you go.
the simple reality though is this happens in every city. So, I mean, the fact that that it's called Hood Uber, I think is funny, and I think that's probably what led to its sensation.
Hooked you right.
But this happens. I mean, you go on Facebook and you find groups in your market that are looking for rides or posting services for rides. If you're looking for a ride, call me, whatever it might be. So this happens all over the place. This isn't just brand new. This isn't something that is, oh my God, this is holy crap. I can't believe it. I think it's just that it's called Hood Uber.
Yeah, Matt, I saw your thing. I took the screenshots, but it was not enough time for this week. But we're definitely going to discuss that next week.
The comfort promise. Yeah, that's
That's
insane.
bullshit of all bullshit. See, there's Hood Uber Lyft. How about we start a Hood Lyft? How about
Hood
that?
Lyft.
Copy that one. Hood
In
Lyft.
get to.
Yeah.
And the whole when you order it, it's Cartman going in you get to.
Moving on up. So, here's my thing. My 2 cents about this. What could go wrong? Well, as a
Everything.
driver, you could definitely get carjacked a lot easier with these things. There's no tracing in this.
No, because there's no trade dressing. So you might not get carjacked, but rolling up to somebody you could.
What if they don't pay you? What are you gonna do?
Just don't wear the wrong colors.
Oh, you know what? Or maybe do the payment before the trip. How about that?
Yeah.
But then who's going to pay you before the trip? Because then what if you don't show up?
Hey, well, you know what? Both parties can carry.
Okay, I rather do Empower than this. This is not a good idea, folks. Again, community supporting community. I get the friends and family. I get all that.
It's the fact that you could get in an accident and your life will be in shambles after that.
Well, nothing to lose, bro. You have nothing to lose. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Some people might. Some people may.
There you go. Hood Lyft is just regular Lyft. Yeah, I
agree. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Uber X and this Uber Hood is Uber X.
Well, Uber pretty soon it's actually pretty soon, Matt. It's Lyft Comfort.
But Lyft Comfort is Lyft
with the Comfort Promise.
The Comfort Promise, yeah, that's I don't know who came up with that shit at Lyft. We're going to talk about that next week on a whole segment, but it'll give me time to ring some people up and say, "What the f is this?" Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea. Hood Uber. I do respect the people who the entrepreneurial spirit there who put the shit together and the Facebook groups or whatever, but I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think the people who get in the cars know what would happen in an accident, and they think maybe the driver has insurance, but I'm telling you, Chris knows about it. Anyway, insurance companies do find out if you're accepting cash doing trips, folks. They're not as dumb as they used to be. The first thing they ask you, were you driving Uber and Lyft? Were you delivering? Because they want to get their hands out of it. They go like, the minutes you say, yeah, I was doing that, I go, oh, that coverage doesn't apply. So for me, there's too much risk involved.
Yeah, it's a lot of risk. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are desperate. And when desperation happens, they might not be thinking of all the different possibilities that it could be. I mean, I get it. Look, the rates that Uber and Lyft are paying drivers right now is dog shit. And your cherries are coming fewer and fewer between. So you might be looking at different rides that you're like, I got to take it. I got to get something. I get that. And the cash ride, I mean, it can make a lot of sense, but the thing is, if you're going to do it, just do it the right way. Make sure you get the any regulations that you need to follow. Make sure you follow them. Insurance, make sure you have the proper insurance. And then, do what a few people are doing in the chat. They poach and they get their leads and they have their private business, and then they don't need to be Hood Uber anymore. They could be Top Notch Uber or Fly Uber or something. So I mean that's probably the better way to go to it, because now you have everything covered. If something happens, you have insurance. Your insurance knows that you are driving and taking money for it. You're pricing things accordingly, and making sure and all that stuff. So just make sure that when you have, something like this, that you are doing it the proper way, and you don't have the livelihood problems when it comes to an accident or a lawsuit or anything like that.
Well, we always have Uber Connect for that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I could use Uber Connect for that. You know what I mean? So,
True.
yeah. I mean, look, yeah, I wouldn't touch that with the 10-foot ball. But so yeah, that's it, folks. That's what we have.
All right. Well, good show, good topics. Unfortunately, that bug is still going around. So if you're seeing it, make sure that you send us the screenshots. Again, if you're seeing anything like a bundled ride that's an on-demand ride coming in, um, let us know. Screenshot that, especially the offer card, more than anything else, because then that way we can take a look and see what's going on. Because it could have said it on there on that screenshot, but we don't know. So you could have taken a screenshot and then be like, oh, I didn't see that. There's always that. Or they could have just, done something. Maybe it's something that they're about to test and, it's not fully operational yet, and somehow it leaked out. That's a possibility too. There's a lot of different things that could be happening. So either way, if you see something like that, just send the screenshots to Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. Of course, make sure for those drivers. I mean, you guys are talking in the chat right now. Come on behind the wheel, have a little conversation with Sergio. You want to tell him he's stupid and doesn't know what he's talking about, and you know better.
I get that a lot.
By all means, do it. Do it.
I don't need that from drivers. I get that a lot at home. So should we do the Ironman challenge? We should.
Sure.
Okay. By the way, whoever won the hats last week, they're on their way. So congrats for our 200th show last week. I received confirmation that you're all getting it shortly. The packages are on their way.
So, Rich, what are you doing now? If you're not doing rideshare, what are you doing?
Who?
Rich, he says he's not doing rideshare anymore.
Oh, I don't know.
Let us
I'm
know.
doing rideshare, not my circus anymore. Okay, cool. Good luck. Hopefully you're doing bigger and better things.
Yeah. Let us know what you're doing though.
Yeah. And
yes, go Sabres. 0-0 right now.
The Ironman challenge. You know what? We'll announce it next week, and we'll put like some sort of a reward on it. And this guy has been doing it for 4 years. All you have to do is beat him for a week. Let's see if you can beat the Ironman just for a fucking single week. But you have to drive X and standard, nothing else. Let's see if you can beat 3K a week. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, baby, that's a lot of work.
65 hours. Yeah, that's a lot.
All right. Well, either way, good show and good hanging out. We'll see you guys next week. And I think we have a guest on next week, right?
Do we? I'm trying to get a hold of people, and I'm having a little difficulty.
Yeah, we have a guest on next week. You guys are going to like that one. Yeah.
We do?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I emailed you about it.
Oh, just now? Today?
No, like last week.
What?
We'll talk after this show. All right, we'll see you guys next week. And get out there, make that money. But
what is happening? Twilight Zone.
I know, weird, huh?
I'm in the Twilight Zone, as you know.
No, it's not. It's not Dara. That'd be awesome, but it's not.
Dara. I'm not gonna say anything. All right, have a good one. Be safe out there.
Yep, bye.